Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Jay Hollingshed, your personal high-performance mindset coach and public speaker. I coach athletes and driven entrepreneurs. I coach their minds to higher levels of productivity and profitability so they can live life on their own terms, and I can do the exact same thing for you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is episode 133 of 365, and this is the 7 Pillars of Mental Performance series. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. In fact, my brother's already tuning in. I see you, AJ. I appreciate you. Anybody that wants to watch this episode in its entirety, feel free to go to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is available, Jay Hollingshed on YouTube. This episode will be on there within 24 hours, and all of my other episodes that I've done before this one are already backlogged on my YouTube channel for your viewing pleasures. Now, who else we got? Oh, Howard Carter. Howard Q, what's up, man? I appreciate you for checking in. Tashina Campbell. Okay. We got Tanya Wynette. I appreciate you for tuning in. Everybody's got the front row seat and ready to go. I appreciate everybody. Now, today is actually Saturday, day 7 of the week, in which we always discuss pillar number 7, positive and negative self-talk. Positive and negative self-talk. Not going to be long today, but I'm going to give you some good information on how people deal with positive and negative self-talk. Curtis Odom, what's up? My man, Lieutenant Odom from Omega Sci-Fi. I appreciate you, man. Now, here we go. Let me ask you a question. What would you do if you knew somebody was getting bullied every single day? And you sat there and you witnessed this every single day. And if it was a child or a teenager, but you saw them getting bullied every single day, they're getting pushed around. And if that child or that person that's getting bullied, you see them, they start to pursue something or they want to do something, anything they try to do to try to better themselves, or anything they do to bring themselves some type of pleasure, some type of excitement or personal gain, the bully is always there to stop them, push them around, tell them what they can't do, lock them in a corner and be like, nah, you ain't doing this today. Nah, sorry. Nobody's gonna pay attention to you anyway. If you saw that happening over and over and over again every day, would you get tired of that? Most of you that I know, if I know you personally, yeah, you would. Now, there was a time in my childhood, I grew up in a pretty rough neighborhood called Orange Mound. And a lot of the people I know from Orange Mound, when they take matters in their own hands, it wouldn't be any more bullying. Nah, the bully will stop right then and there. So if the bullying stops right then and there, that means they take care of the bully. It's done deal. They will go ahead and dominate that bully. Now, here's the thing. We see that happening all the time. We don't necessarily see it physically, somebody getting bullied, or we don't see the physical aspect of somebody bullying somebody else, but we ourselves get bullied all the time. How do we get bullied all the time, every single day, day in and day out? That's us that I'm talking about, even myself. How, why, when? It happens spiritually. How does that happen spiritually? Because it's our own psyche, the voice in our head. It bullies us all the time. It tells us what we can't do. Whenever we try to do something and we study for it and we prepare for it, we get the gumption up for it and we get excited. We get ready to go. We get ready to make that move. And as soon as we get ready to step into making that move or taking that first step, what does that voice in our head say? What you think you doing? You ain't never done this before, so you ain't gonna succeed. Why you trying to do it? That's what the voice in your head would say. Or it would say something like, especially if you have goals, the voice in your head will say, you're too big, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too tall, you're too small. Nobody will like you. Look at you, you're ugly. Your hair is always a mess. A lot of things would happen. A lot of things that we try to do, we get bullied out of by our own psyche. So we get bullied every single day. And a lot of us continue to allow that to happen. Why do we allow that to happen? Because a lot of us don't know how to deal with it. Being that the psyche is not somebody we can physically take and push out the way or make them shut up or push them out of our lives, out of our mind, it's hard to deal with that. We can't physically go and grab our psyche and tell it to shut up. But the thing is, our psyche belongs to us. We don't belong to it to where it dominates us. It belongs to us so we can dominate it. And I'm using the word dominate for a reason. Domination is one of the things I've started to implement to take care of that bully that's in my head, my psyche. Now, it's been proven statistically that 85% of the self-talk that's in our minds is negative. That's a lot of a lot of negative self-talk coming from our psyche. So here's the thing. If we have 85% of our self-talk that's negative, 85% of the time we are getting bullied. That's what's happening. So to stop that, personally, in my own psyche, I've chosen the route of being a dominant force, a dominant figure. I'm not going to compete with my psyche. I'm not going to try to say, okay, you win today, I win tomorrow. We're not going to go tit for tat. I am going to dominate. I'm going to dominate it. Point blank, simple. I'm not going to let it happen anymore. I am going to be the one to make this happen. And to do that, I take over. I give, if I were to see people, a physical bully, a lot of people will take that physical bully, give him a taste of his own medicine, so much of that medicine to where they would not want to bully anybody else again. In fact, most times when you see somebody getting bullied, you go to that bully and then you stand up to the bully would back off and go find someone else to bully. Because what do bullies do? They bully people. They will go bully somebody else that won't stand up. They will go bully somebody else that's weaker than them. But no, to dominate, if you want to stop that bully altogether, you need to be a domineering figure. You need to dominate that bully. So when you do that, the bully won't just back off and go bully somebody else. The bully would have gotten so much of its own medicine that it will go and not bully anybody else again. So that's what I'm doing for my own psyche, and it works for me. So it may just very well work for you. What does being a domineering figure look like? To dominate your psyche, to take over, make it say what you want it to say. You have to be so strong, so powerful, push so hard, be tired of it. Get to a point to where, look, this ain't happening no more. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with you and all that. So let's take some examples. Sports figures. When people think basketball, you think, or better yet, when you think of LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, you think of Michael Jordan, you think basketball. Or when you think basketball, you think them. There are plenty of people, there are hundreds, thousands of basketball players worldwide. But why do you think of those three people? Because they dominate the game. They dominate the game so much to where when you say basketball, they are the ones that come to mind. Why is that? They put so much into it that's what they are. They redefine, they actually become the dominant force or the dominant figure. When their name comes up, that's what happens. Let's say me, I'm trying to push my business as a high performance mindset coach, as a coach that's out there changing lives, as a public speaker. Now, if I want people to see me or Jay Hollingshed, if I want Jay Hollingshed to be a household name, what do I have to do? I have to dominate my space. I have to be so aggressive. I have to take over my space and push and push and push and keep putting my name out there, keep putting my name out there. It's like a repeating TV commercial over and over and over again. A lot of you have seen those TV commercials when they happen over and over and over again. They keep going, they keep going. It goes to the point so much to where when you mention, let's say, if I ask you about a hamburger place, what's the first place that's going to come to your mind? You'll probably say McDonald's. I ask you, what's the second place? You may say Burger King. So The thing is, what has McDonald's and Burger King done to dominate that space? They put themselves out there and they have no competition. They put themselves out there so much and so strong to where they take over that space. Now, let's take that lesson and apply it to having being a dominant figure in your own mind to dominate your psyche. If your psyche is that keep bullying you 85% of the time, if 85% of your self-talk is negative, you are getting dominated and bullied by your psyche 85% of the time. So how do you take over that? You become that dominant force, and you push so hard against your psyche to where it's like you're doing a commercial. No, we're not having this today. I'm not having this today. I am strong. I am 20 pounds lighter, or whatever your goal is that your psyche is telling you is going against. You got to push harder for what you want, for what you are going to say. Your psyche can be programmed. Like I said, it belongs to you. You don't belong to it. Program it by telling it what it needs to say. You do that with your declarations, your affirmations, things like that, or your mindset. Push so hard. Now, do you think Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, do you think that they have, or do you think their psyche has a chance against going up against them, telling them they cannot do this, they cannot do that? Nah, when they get on the court, it's on. You give them a basketball, as soon as that basketball touches their hands, I can imagine it. It's like an alter ego comes into play. Boom, their mind switches. Something clicks to where that psyche has no chance, has no power at all. Why? Because they put so much of themselves into their space to where they dominate that space. So you need to put so much of yourself, so much of your own positivity, so much of who you want to be into that space to where when that negative self-talk comes up and gets to you and starts talking to you, the negative self-talk won't even start talking to you. It will see and feel the dominant energy you are putting towards being who you want to be, to where it will back up and say, okay, I need to encourage you. And it will say that because you have been encouraging yourself for so long. Now, how many times do you get in a car? When you're in the car and that music is playing, the song is playing and it's in your head. Now, you've gotten out the car. 2-3 hours later, you've been in the store, you've walked through the school, you've been talking to your friends or whatever. 3-4 hours later, you find yourself humming that same song in your head over and over and over. Why? It's programmed in there. You keep saying that over and over. Now, that's how your self-talk works. That's how your psyche works. That's how your self-talk works. The thing is, you could either be having some negative self-talk going on, but instead you got the positive, you got that music or that song going on in your head. Now, if you want to have that positivity going on in your head over and over and over, replace that song with what you want to know, what you want yourself to be, what you are saying about yourself. I am strong. I am confident. I am 20 pounds lighter. I can do this. I will reach this. I am this. I am that. I am. Put your I am statements in there, your I am declarations. Say that so much to where all your psyche will do is repeat what you say over and over and over. That becomes the self-talk, and you will have flipped your negative self-talk to your positive self-talk. But the thing is, you got to stand up to it. If you don't stand up to that negative self-talk and dominate it with your own positive self-talk, you will be that person getting bullied, like I mentioned earlier. Your self-talk will bully you. Negative self-talk is nothing but an internal bully. It pushes you around, tells you what you can't do, and in fact, it talks you out of it. Why? Because, like I said, 85% of your self-talk is negative. And a lot of that we feed by watching the news all the time. The news is negative. A lot of that we feed by listening to negative music. We're putting that stuff in our heads over and over. Negative music, the news, reading negative books, hanging around negative people, listening to negative conversations. All of that plays in our head over and over again, just like the song on the radio plays in our head over and over again. And whatever plays in your head over and over again, it is constantly programming your mind. That's how we learn, through repetition. So if it's playing in your head over and over again, it is actually programming. Now, what do I always teach? We think in pictures. So if it's playing over and over again in your head and you think in pictures, you are actually visualizing and seeing the negativity that you are hearing in your head over and over again. And what does the body do? The body always follows the mind. So if the negative self-talk is up here, the negativity is there, your body is going to follow through with the negativity. Going to follow through with those negative actions. You're going to follow through with that low self-esteem. You're going to follow through with that 85% negativity. And next thing you know, your psyche will dominate you with that negative self-talk. Like I said, you will be the victim of that internal bully called your psyche. So to keep that from happening, you got to dominate it. You got to go strong, go hard, put everything you can into who you want to be. You tell your psyche, no, not today. You ain't gonna punk me out today. It ain't happening. No, I'm tired of it. You got to go. If you're going to talk, I'm going to control the conversation. I'm going to have you tell me what I want, what I want you to tell me. That's how it's going to happen from here, this point forth, here on out. You're going to say what I want you to say. You bully your psyche. Your psyche doesn't bully you. Take over your life. Change your life by changing your mind. Change the way you think. You change your actions. You change your actions. You change your life. That's what this is all about. So that's all I have for today on positive and negative self-talk. This has been episode 133 of 365. And today's episode has been positive and negative self-talk. This is my 7 Pillars of Mental Performance series. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I am available. I coach people through these things. I coach athletes through these for a better game. I coach entrepreneurs through all of this for a better and more productive way of life for them in their entrepreneurial journey. So reach out to me if you want me to coach you as well, or if you want coaching advice on this. I got you. Inbox me here on this platform, or you can reach me at speaktojay.com, speaktojay.com, or jhollingshed.com. That's all that I have. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. God bless you. Be well, stay blessed, and as always, through love, be a blessing. God bless.